Hello YouTube, welcome back to our family. If you're here, thank you for being here. If you've been here, thanks for coming back. You all know how it works. Like, subscribe, ting that notification bell. What you might not know is on our Instagram, hit the link in the bio. That will give you links to our various platforms, so our YouTube, Facebook, merch store and the Morph Market. So get on over there guys, have a look, let us know what you think. We are always looking to improve that, so if you've got any ideas, definitely be sure to let us know. Before we roll the video, I just wanted to let all you guys know how much we appreciate the support. The channel really is heading in the right direction. We've got exciting things to come. So let's roll that intro and let's get down to today's video. So guys, the original plan today was for me to explain how I go about sexing ball pythons. I'm not going to do that video today. That video is coming. That should be out next week. The reason for that is I just took a look in the incubator. We've got a clutch pip in. It is slightly early. This clutch is pipping on day 53, so slightly early, but the eggs are smaller, so that's probably why that is. So we're going to go through how to safely cut the eggs, so that, you know, everything's all good and the hatchlings aren't harmed. What you're going to want to do guys, we need to start with a nice clean working area. So give everything a clean up, get it as sterile as it can be. You know, it's not going to be sterile, but I've never had any problems with hatchlings getting infections, but we want to give them the best start to life as we can, and you know, passing on sort of a bacterial infection wouldn't be a right way to go. So it's just a precautionary measure, and it's something that I always do. Right, so getting close to the hatch date on these. I come in to give them a check. I did see a head out, but when I took the lid off it, it went straight back in there. So we've got two pipped. The first thing I do is I'm going to transfer these eggs into another box so that the albumin isn't spilling all over the perlite, so then that this egg box can be used for another clutch. There they are, transferred over into the other box. This one's got its head out. Now that head stamp has got me extremely intrigued. That does not look like the head of a double het. So I'm going to get this clutch cut and see what's going on here, but I'm already very excited if you can't tell. Right then guys, so we're going to start with the cutting. I'm going to show you a technique that I use so that the snake's never harmed. We can already see that the snake's already started pipping, so there's no risk of cutting early. The other three eggs that haven't pipped yet are ready to be cut. I can feel the snake inside, so we're good to go there. Something that I didn't mention is the utensils that you use to cut. Make sure they're nice and clean. I use these sort of dull pointed scissors, so there's no sharp edges. I'm quite careful with it anyway, but just so there's no sharp edges. So anyway, let's get down to the cutting then. So I'm going to take an egg here, and the first thing I'm going to want to do is have a feel for where the snake is, and I'm going to pull the excess of the shell up to a point to make like a little ridge. There are lots of good videos on egg cutting, but I'm just going to explain how I do it. There are lots of different methods. Some people use a razor blade. I feel much more comfortable with scissors. So the first thing we're doing is just making a tiny little nick, little V shape there, and then that gives us an entry to get the scissors in. And what I'm doing, as soon as the sharp side of the blade is in, I'm lifting the shell away from the snake as far as I can before I'm making that snip. So I'm pulling it away from the veins and more importantly away from the snake. You can nick veins, but you don't want to cut the snake. And all I'm doing is just cutting a flap off the top, and I don't cut it fully off. I leave it so that the flap can close down. Right, so I'm looking at this snake in here and I already don't know what's gone on, because there seems to be a highway, or it's not a possible combination that can or should happen. in that clutch. This snake hasn't been paired up with my champagne or anything like that, so I'm a little bit confused here. I'll have to go back through my records and see if I've made a pairing that I'm not sure about, but this looks, I'm not sure how well that's coming out on camera, but it's definitely not a double het pied ghost. So I'm a little bit confused by that, which does sort of explain the crazy head stamp on that one. I'm really intrigued to see if the clutch can give me an idea of what's gone on here. But the snake's perfectly healthy, looks good. I can see the yolks up there, no twisted umbilicus. You know, we're all good. We're all good there. Really confused about what that is. So the next one then, exactly the same again. There isn't as much excess on this snake, it seems, on this egg. It seems like there's a lot more snake in here, but in exactly the same way, make a small little snip, scissors go in and we pull the shell away from the snake as far as we can. And then I'm not cutting a sunroof in this, I'm just taking a flap off the top. And same again, there appears to be some sort of champagne combination in this. I'm going to have to go back through my records and see if this snake was paired up with the champagne at any point. I don't really know why I'd make that pairing though. Very strange. But anyway, so I'll leave the flap on, so when the flap's closed, the snake's still getting that security, it's still feeling secure. I think sometimes if you cut a big sunroof off the top of the egg, that can cause the snake to freak out, make it leave the egg prematurely, break off its yolk, and it's just not the best start. Not the best start for that snake. Really pretty champagne combination, but they seem to have really heavy dorsal back stripes and a bit more yellow in there than what I would have thought. Don't know how the light's picking that up, but it's definitely not what I was expecting. The next one then, that isn't open, still attached to that guy. Something else that I do as well is I always cut the eggs that I hadn't picked yet. Obviously those snakes have got their head out and they're breathing, so if there is any problems it's going to be in the ones that I haven't picked yet, so I always cut those ones first. I've never had a problem, but it just seems to work better in my head. Cut the ones that I haven't picked yet, because those two are obviously fine. I do want to take a closer look at them though, see if we can figure out what on earth has gone on here. That looks like an Enchi. So the only male in my collection that can produce this is the Champagne Enchi Pastel Possible Het Pied. And I've got no memory of making that pairing. But I must have done. I'll go back and check the records, but unless I made the pairing last season and I've forgotten about it and it's been done from retained sperm. So these will, if it is the male that I'm thinking, I'd have to check for ringers on the champagnes, but these will be 100% het for Orange Ghost and 50% het pied. So it's not a bust by any stretch of the imagination, you know. The only difference is instead of being 100% het pied, you know, these are 50% het pied, and we've got the added bonus of having other genes in there as well. Right, so what is that for? All these snakes so far look perfectly healthy, and look like they are very close to leaving the egg. There's not a lot of veins left. Let's have a look, see what this next hatchling tells us. I can see that pot's getting weirder. So that looks like a normal, well, I say normal, that'll be Het Ghost Pot Het Pied, if it is the male that I'm thinking of who has sired this clutch. It's definitely not the one that I thought. Right. Last egg then. So this was the one with a strange head stamp. I'm thinking now that just from looking at the head, there's got to be entry in that snake. When the head's poking out like that, oh, I see this. He's cut holes all over this egg. So he's made a start for us. So what I do with ones like this is I'll cut in the same way as he has done before, pulling the shell away from the snake, and I'm going to stop short just before the head, and then that bit I can tear, and then that's the snake's head loose. And oh my god, this snake is stunning. There you go, there's the snake's head free. Absolutely no idea what's going on here. That has thrown me for a loop. No. I'm baffled. It's really pretty, really pretty, but I'm absolutely... It's not just a pastel enchi. I've hatched a few of them before and it looks nothing like, unless it is the Het Orange Ghost influence which is making them it like that. They do colour up a lot after they come out the egg as well. But yeah, that's a really pretty snake. Yeah. Alright, I'm back. I'll get them back in the incubator. I'll keep you up to date with the progress as they leave the egg. But yeah, that's definitely not what I was expecting. But that's the beauty of the hobby. That's what keeps us guessing. Yeah, the only male in my collection which can produce this is the Champagne Pastel Enchi possible Het Pied. Well, it's not a possible Het Pied, it's proven Het Pied now. But I'm unsure as to what's going on with that. Pastel and Enchi, yeah, but what else? Making it lighter. Could just be the ghost influence. But it certainly doesn't look like the pastel enchi that I've produced before. Right, there it is, guys. Right guys, that one was truly a head scratcher for sure. I did go into the records, I had a look. The male that I suspected, I did pair that with that female. I never witnessed a lock. I cast it to the back of my mind and I completely wrote that pairing off. I think the male was only in the tub for a day as well. I didn't see a lock or anything like that, but that's all it takes, and it's done the business. The crazy part about that is that pairing, when I think even when I paired them, I completely forgot that that male is also Het for Ghost. So that is what was confusing me about that clutch, that last hatchling which had its head out the egg. That is a visual orange ghost. So how I have stumbled into that, you know, I've got no idea, but I'm chuffed to bits with that all the same. So all the questions got answered on that. I will do a cleanup video for you guys in the future so we can take a closer look at those hatchlings once we're all out the eggs. So that just leaves, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate everyone's support, and I will see you all on the next one. Thanks. Bye bye.